We need to talk about new Star Wars games because there's more happening in Star Wars gaming right now than there has been in years. Finally, EA Star Wars are back, and they're serious about making new games. Not one, not two, but 3 new games. All coming out of Respawn Entertainment, the same guys who made Jedi Fallen Order. One game studio making 3 new Star Wars games, as well as still supporting Apex Legends. Who knows if there's a new Titanfall coming at some stage. It seems like a lot. It also seems like over the next few months, there's going to be more and more Star Wars gaming news dropped. So let me tell you everything you need to know about these 3 new Star Wars games. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. There's no word on exactly when these will be releasing or playable, but there's been some speculation as to when you'll be able to get your hands on these. So I'll go through that in a bit. If you're not familiar with Respawn, in addition to Fallen Order, they also make Apex Legends and Titanfall, and it seems as though those games will influence some of these new Star Wars games, potentially. Anyway, I'll get into that in a bit as well. So the first game of the 3 is the next game in the Star Wars Jedi franchise, so basically Jedi Fallen Order 2. We've known that Fallen Order 2 has been in development for at least a couple years now, but this is the first official announcement of its existence to come from EA and Respawn. Stig Asmussen is leading development of this game, just as he did with Fallen Order. But there's no word yet on whether the story will pick up on Calculator Kestis' journey, where it ended in Fallen Order. You might not even be playing as Cal in this new game. It could be someone entirely different altogether. It could be a Sith game, who knows? Star Wars Sith Fallen Order could be a completely different point in the timeline. Cal's Padawan. It seems likely they'd get Cameron Monaghan back in some capacity at least, but I mean, who knows at this stage. As much as I'd love to see Cal back, it would be cool also getting another perspective of another survivor of Order 66, and then maybe they could eventually meet up with Cal. Who knows? And some industry insiders are actually speculating that this game could release sometime towards the end of 2022 or in 2023. I think it's likely we'll hear much more about Fallen Order 2 at Star Wars Celebration, which is just in a few months' time. So the second game from Respawn is a new Star Wars first-person shooter. No word yet on whether it's single player or multiplayer or both, but it's being developed by an entirely new team at Respawn, led by Peter Hirschman, who's actually had some experience working on Star Wars games in the past. He used to be employed by LucasArts for quite a while. He worked on Empire at War, Forces of Corruption, and also Soul Calibur 4, which featured a couple of Star Wars characters. So those are some of his LucasArts Star Wars titles and credits. But most recently, he was leading development on Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, the VR game made by Respawn. So he's had some experience with FPS games. And I mean, he's working at Respawn and they built, one of the most successful FPS games of the past 5-10 years, Apex Legends, and also Titanfall. If they're making a Titanfall Star Wars themed game, taking mechanics from Apex, Titanfall, they have the assets, they have the combat design, they're taking all of that and applying that logic into a Star Wars game, I think we have something to be excited about. But a new Star Wars FPS game? Some of you might be thinking, is this Battlefront 3? Well, I think that's really unlikely, especially because it's coming out of a different studio. This isn't DICE, it's Respawn. I'd be more inclined to think this is something like Republic Commando or Dark Forces, single-player experiences. How about a Republic Commando sequel? The one we never got, Star Wars Imperial Commando. Just after Order 66, a team of Special Ops clones are tasked with hunting down any remaining Jedi. That's you, that's who you play as. You gotta get Tamora Morrison back with a voice.
I've got some boys with me.
And then the game could even link up with Jedi Fallen Order 2. You're hunting the Jedi you play as in Fallen Order 2. How cool would that be? So I think it could be something like this or something new altogether. A new idea, a new title. I honestly just hope it's not a battle royale, but I mean, that's just my personal preference. Just like Fallen Order, this game is also being designed in Unreal Engine. I just learned Apex Legends is built in Source Engine. Like what? How is that a thing? How does Source look like this? Heavily modified version of Source Engine? Interesting. There's a bunch of vague information on this new FPS game on a few job listings on Respawn's website. For example, they're looking for a lead combat designer who can develop control mechanics, enemy design, AI behaviors, combat weapons, class design, skills progression, story, and boss encounters. So based on the fact they'll be designing enemies and stories and bosses, it seems like there'll be a heavy emphasis on single player with this new game. Is it a single player experience? But I mean, the class system and the skill progression also seem like there'll be a multiplayer element. A bit of both. Some of these leaning towards both. It could be just super vague and they're just, trying to throw us off the scent. Who knows, man? But if they could actually nail this and give us a unique experience, something gritty like Republic Commando, I feel like that's the way to go. And just as a heads up, this game is still in very early development, it seems. They're still looking to hire a concept artist. So, it's early days. And the third new Star Wars game to come out of Respawn and EA is a new Star Wars strategy game being developed in collaboration with BitReactor, who are a new independent studio founded by developers who used to work at Firaxis. So they're very familiar with strategy games, having worked on XCOM Enemy Unknown, the XCOM series, and the Civilization series. So can you imagine a Star Wars themed XCOM game made now? There's like so many mods for it, Star Wars XCOM mods. Imagine this, except like the devs actually make the game instead of, you know, the community. It seems like the most likely idea for a new game here. And this game is also being developed in Unreal Engine. So we've got 3 new games, all in Unreal Engine. And this one's also still in very early development, seeing as though BitReactor is literally a brand new studio. Like, I'm pretty sure they only, you know, officially were formed like a week ago. This will be the first game they make. But Respawn are of course heavily involved. It's a partnership. It looks like Respawn will be writing the story and assisting with production based on some of their new job vacancies. So this is why these games are so important. EA's exclusive license with Disney to make Star Wars games actually expires next year, meaning that after 2023, other developers will be working on putting out AAA Star Wars titles. They'll be allowed to do so. We already know they've been working on them in the background. They just haven't been able to publish any. So some of the ones that have already been announced, we've got the Star Wars Eclipse game from Quantic Dream, the new Ubisoft open world Star Wars game, and both of these will release after 2023, after that exclusive deal expires. But these 3 new games from EA solidify the fact EA will still be making Star Wars games after 2023. They're not done yet, they're not going anywhere. And just like they announced a while back, there's a lot more on the way. I'm honestly really surprised and a little bit concerned Respawn are behind all 3 games. Sure, they have an amazing track record. Pretty much every game they've made has been excellent in some way and has changed the industry. I remember when Apex dropped, it was like the most crazy thing. Suddenly the most played game overnight online. Fallen Order at times, even though it felt kind of like a foundation game, like the first in a series, like they were still developing some of the mechanics and systems in the game, was still the best single player Star Wars game we've had in years. So the bar's been set high. I guess they did such a great job with Fallen Order. They've now been asked to make 3 more Star Wars games, but they're hiring new staff, they're getting new teams built, put together. I'm sure they'll have the resources to pull this off. And they're getting the help of another studio as well. One of the most interesting things to come out of all of this, Vince Zampella, who's the founder of Respawn and is leading all of these projects, just said this: "We are huge fans of Star Wars here at Respawn, and we're thrilled to work with Lucasfilm Games on new titles that we have wanted to make for years." So they've been planning all these games for years. How long have they had these ideas in their minds? How long have they been thinking and planning them out behind the scenes? Who knows, man, but looks like it'll be a little while before we see them. Hopefully some Jedi Fallen Order 2 news soon, but in the meantime, I mean, there's Lego Star Wars. Man, that's going to be epic. There's Star Wars Hunters, and who knows when we're going to hear more about Quantic Dream and Ubisoft's games. Can't wait. But I'd love to know your thoughts on these new games. What do you think they'll be? Are we getting a Republic Commando sequel? Finally. Will Jedi Fallen Order 2 feature the Kalamata Olive? And what do you think of the new strategy game? Let me know in the comments. If you're new around here, I also have a clips channel with daily clips and memes. You can come check that out over here. And for more Star Wars, you can watch one of these videos here and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and join my Discord. Lots more Star Wars news as soon as it drops over there. Come follow. And thanks for watching this. My name's Andrew. I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.